Hi there, Raj here with Trading College. Just doing this week's newsletter, just having a look at the market and where we're placed. But the main question that I want to ask you this week is, have you been trading with these trends? So the first one that I want to show you is the Dow, and bear with me, I've got three charts on here, but I will explain. Sorry if it looks complicated. But we've got the weekly chart, the daily chart, and the hourly chart. The main chart of focus is going to be the daily chart for the trend, and then the hourly chart for the entries. But the reason why I've got the weekly chart on there is to show you when the momentum trigger line went from below the midline down to being below zero. Okay, so that's the key reason, the key thing that I do want to show you on there, and kind of let you know how you can kind of use that to your advantage while you're trading, really. So you can see here we've got a really strong trend on the downside, but really if we look back and see when this trend started, so technically the first lower high, lower low, but also where the momentum trigger kicked in, which was here. And then I'm going to increase the size of the hourly chart, and look here, every single momentum trigger or PTS signal really did very, very well. Right, so this is how you really want to be looking at trading in the direction of the trend. And it wasn't only here. If we pick up something like euro dollar, the main currency, have a look at this trend, guys. This is absolutely mammoth, just really hitting the deck here, really pushing down on the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, and the hourly time frame. So let's go and look at the hourly time frame and show you here. So some of these negative momentum trigger signals, which I'm just going to bring up for you. So here, when we break from above to below the zero line, here as well, over here, there's a few more as well. This one, they're not all going to work. We're not guaranteeing you that all these trades are going to work. We're just really trading the probabilities. And you can see here where I've circled these markets. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get an arrow and show you whereabouts this happens. So you can see here, nice break lower in the price. Here we've got a massive break lower in the price, and that moves down really nicely. Here's probably the biggest and the best trade. You can see that really slow, long and prolonged sell-off in the market. This one here, I'm going to put it on the other side because that's a loser. You can see that one there. You would have got stopped out before it went back down. But then all of these ones, pretty much all winners here. They might have been a bit slower than the other ones, but you can see all of them would have won as the market went down, and none of them would have got stopped out depending on where your stops were. But we normally use the previous wave highs, so none of these would have got stopped out. So that's one loser here out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades just following the trend. And it didn't stop at euro dollar as well. If we go and bring up GBP USD, mammoth trend to the downside here. Really huge trend on the weekly chart going down, on the daily chart going down. And really what you've got to do is be, I'm just going to get rid of these drawings, but really taking advantage of this on the hourly charts or on the lower time frame charts, just getting your entries in, following the probabilities of catching the waves on the higher time frames down on the lower time frames is really, really prominent, and they've been really, really good and really something that you should have been looking at doing. So it's so simple. Obviously on the higher time frames, we're below the zero line, making lower highs, lower lows, below the major moving averages. And then on the higher time frame, and then on the lower time frame rather, you want to be picking off these entries, these triggers that we're looking at, either momentum triggers or good PTS color changes. They're also very good signals as well. It's really, really simple trading strategy, and it really works. And we've had it in the indices. So the Dow was the first one I showed you. The DAX has also been doing the same thing. You can see here, today has been a bit of a reversal day, but you can see here we've been moving down quite nicely. So the Dow, the DAX, and euro dollar here you can see, and GBP USD as well, which is the other one that I brought up. Lastly, Aussie dollar. So that's the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. That also has been moving down really nicely. Let me just get rid of some of my analysis. You don't need that there. That's also been moving down nicely. And just look at the last momentum trigger here. That was that candle right there. So how we normally replace this, stops at the previous candle high. Look at that, really, really nice short trade, going really, really well so far. And then on the other end, if you do want to look at longs, USD JPY has been just ripening up recently in recent times. We've not got any trades right now, but it has been going really, really well. And that's another one that has been doing well with these long momentum triggers every so often. So just following the probabilities, trading the right time frames, looking at the higher time frames for your market bias and direction, and then entering on the lower time frames. It's been working a treat recently. And if you've got any questions about this, just send us them in and we can talk to you. But if not, hopefully I can speak to you or see you again soon.